And we've had some great calls this afternoon with Tim Holland from Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers, answering some of your questions in regards to this law change here in Michigan. Uh, Tim, my question for you also is how do consumers, how do they select a lawyer? What do they need to be aware of when, let's say they've had some sort of slip and fall, they're injured, they know they need to get some help, legal help, but how do they know where to go? Because there are a million of them out there. So what should they look for? What does a good slip and fall lawyer provide? And what are some of the things that they should avoid?
The perhaps the most important thing is finding somebody that actually practices in the specialty. And the example that I give all the time is this: is that if you're having heart trouble, you want a heart surgeon. You do not want a brain surgeon, and you could be going to the best brain surgeon in the country, but that brain surgeon just isn't going to have the heart specialty to get you the best result. And and the same is very much true here. As I indicated before, we specialize in this practice area. We are on the cutting edge of safety standards. We're on the cutting edge, working with some of the top safety experts in the country. And I'm talking about architects. I'm talking about flooring people. I'm talking about biomechanical engineers. I'm talking even about
Wow.
meteorologists. We have to get meteorologists involved as it relates to these hazardous conditions. So we have not only the specialized legal knowledge, but we also get into the general safety aspects from both doctors, again scientists and engineers that we work with on these cases. So that specialty obviously is the most important thing. The next things you want to look at is experience and results. We have extensive experience in the area. We're lecturing all over the country. And on this topic, we're training thousands of other lawyers a year how to do these cases. So, that specialty, that experience, that expertise, and then finally the resources. Somebody that has the resources to get top experts involved in your case and pursue it to make sure that you maximize that value in conjunction with the reputation that the insurance companies know that if you have us, we mean business and we get a
So
little bit better result.
so it is fair for you to ask these kinds of questions. Do you have this like a deep bench? That's just what makes me when you describe all that, it's just like sounds like a deep bench to me. That all these experts that you have at your fingertips.
Definitely because they're going to come up with incredible defenses. They're going to come up with you should have been able to see this. They're going to come up with it wasn't actually dangerous. They're gonna come up with it didn't actually snow that day. And
Yeah.
so if you're an attorney that doesn't have the knowledge and the expertise, but also doesn't have the resources or the connections to engage the top experts in the country on your fall, it could be very, very problematic for your case.
How do your bills get paid when you've been injured in a slip and fall, you're in the middle of litigation? Who pays your medical bills? How does that all work?
Yeah, that can be very challenging for people, and certainly I want to tell people right out of the gate, we work on the contingency fee, so there's nothing. They cost you nothing to call us. It costs you nothing to talk to us and get an opinion. All of that is free. If there's no recovery, there's no attorney's fee there as well. So in terms of getting a lawyer like myself involved who specializes in this area, there's really no risk to you. There's free consultation, and then we only get something if we recover for you. But in terms of getting those medical bills paid, it is very important that you get the treatment that you need and that those bills are then paid by your health insurance. Even if it's a Medicaid or a Medicare, you need to get the treatment that you need. You need to get those things paid for from if it's private health insurance, if it's Medicaid, if it's Medicare. And then what we do is we submit those bills to the jury, and then if the jury awards them, we pay back the health insurance, whether it be private or government. We
I
pay that back.
understand, and I understand you're obligated by law to do that. I mean, again, the practice is obligated by law to do that.
Absolutely. We as attorneys, if the government has paid out medical bills that then we then recover, our firm is responsible to see that those things are paid back, and we can be held responsible if they're not. So it's very important.
I'm also wondering, I know that this law just changed like within the last month, right? That this is all new. This is all new
Exactly,
territory, right?
100% new territory.
So let's say I fell a year ago and I sustained a bad injury a year ago. Do I still have, you know, standing? Can I still bring a case?
We are encouraging everyone. So the general statute of limitations for a fall in Michigan is 3 years. 3 years from the date of the fall. And we're encouraging everyone. The El Said opinion that the law changed about 3 weeks ago. If you had a opinion before 3 weeks ago that maybe a lawyer told you couldn't do anything, or maybe you heard the term open and obvious, or maybe you heard that there wasn't any recovery, we are encouraging every person to get a second opinion from us. Again, FallLaw.com, our phone number, but FallLaw.com. Get a second opinion from us because your rights may have changed. And before where you were told that you couldn't recover anything no matter how catastrophically you were injured, now we may be able to help you.
And it's important to, again, reach out and get that information. And if you'd like to reach out specifically to Tim, maybe you've got a question you don't want to share with us on the air. We understand. You can go to 855-938-1382. That's 855-938-1382. And as Tim said, there's a wealth of information on that website. I looked at it myself, and that is FallLaw.com, FallLaw.com. Go there. You might be able to get a little info and enough to really get your questions formulated so that you can talk with Tim or one of his colleagues about all of this. How do you know when you need a lawyer? You've experienced a fall. How do you know that you need a lawyer?
Well, certainly what we tell people is that if you've been seriously injured, if that injury is going to affect your life, if that injury is serious to the point where you can't work, if that injury is serious to the point where you're incurring thousands of dollars in medical bills, if that has changed your life, a head injury or something like that, that's when you want to get us involved. We handle serious injury cases, and so we encourage anybody that's had a really a life changing injury, or certainly somebody who's racking up thousands of dollars in medical, thousands of dollars in wage loss, and doesn't know where to turn. We're where to turn for that kind of thing.
And we also should remember, I mean, we were talking about catastrophic head injuries here, but a lot of times an injury to your arm or an injury to your leg can be just enough, especially if you're in your later years, can be just enough to completely alter your life plan.
100%. We encounter situations all the time because, again, that the over 65 segment of the population falls are so dangerous for them, that we encounter situations all the time where essentially this injury, whether it be a torn bicep or a shoulder or a hip, certainly, really ends up having a catastrophic effect on the life, where even if it heals, it's still painful. And an argument that we make all the time is essentially that injury can steal their golden years. It can steal their retirement. It
And
really can.
really, when we're talking about injuries like this, too, of course, we're thinking of the person who it's happening to, because that's so vitally important. But it impacts so many other people: your spouse, your job, your career, your friends, your family. It impacts so many people when this happens.
And that's a big reason that we're engaged in this practice, is because, people are catastrophically hurt in these falls. Their lives are changed in these falls. And we think it's very important, and we take it very seriously, that they have the best legal representation as a result for these very, very serious injuries that people have. And we hope along the way that safety increases too.
And in the last minute, what can if you could just give us a pitch real quick, can we look forward to here in the future moving forward with this law change?
Well, you're going to see certainly an increase in premises liability interest in people talking about it, but you're going to see more jury trials, and you're going to see more jury trials, more results as a result of the law change.